Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. A quick info before we begin. Today's video has two stories and both of them have updates. Now let's get started with the first one. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user Deleted. One of my best friends is dating my deranged ex. Advice? Hey guys, 23 male here, new to this sub. If any mistakes are made, please let me know. This is long. I have a friend, Ted, who is dating a girl, Lisa, I got involved with. It was nothing that lasted much long with her, but I had expectations of something really serious and I ended up realizing we were not compatible. And she was pretty toxic in the months we dated. Some of her behavior included, she didn't want to share her food but wanted me to share mine. One day I went to get some French fries that she ordered and she flipped out. My friend Ted was with another friend and us. Afterward, she proceeded to take some of my onion rings. It was awkward. It was not something cute or funny. She was indeed mad about the fries. She spoke badly about people behind their backs, me included. She wanted me to be online and speak to her at all times. If I had a meeting at my job, she would flip out and grey rock me until I apologized. I only did this once and I regret it. She never acknowledged my achievements or needs. She always spoke about herself to everyone. She didn't have an active lifestyle, neither wanted to change, but she wanted to change me, even telling me that we should get fat together. She didn't like my beard or tattoos either. We were together a long time then, so I didn't understand this. She organized a church meeting in her house. I invited two close friends and she told me that I was wrong for inviting them, that it didn't have space for them. It did. That it was something private. It was not. She told me all of this in the middle of an event we were attending, causing a huge scene. In reality, she didn't like my friends. She didn't believe in friendship between men and women. That's why she was super jealous of a dear friend of mine of decades, simply because she's a girl. She kicked out one of her best friends, Claire, from an apartment they shared via text message. She wanted Claire to give her attention, even if her friend was working. Proceeded to speak ill of this friend to everyone and blocked Claire when confronted. She quote-unquote attempted to end herself by taking pills in the middle of a church service and telling everyone to help her. She left the church when everyone discovered her BS. Her friend was complaining that she didn't have money, and she proceeded to change the subject and complain that her grandma couldn't buy her a ticket to some European country and she would only go to another country in the holidays. When I saw her toxic behavior piling up, there was a lot. I decided to end things with her. She told me we could still be friends. The next day, I'm blocked and discover she's telling bad things about me to everyone. I went no contact. When Lisa and I knew each other, Ted told me that she was a problem and that I should be careful. Then, recently, they started talking. I advised him the same he told me, and he told me it was only friendship. They got in touch because he was feeling lonely and wanted to meet, not date different girls, and she was one of his choices. They created a bond in a month. He went so far as to meet Claire, tell her that she and Lisa should reconcile and that Lisa never spoke badly about her to anyone. She did. He even had the guts to use me in this conversation. Claire didn't like that, but she heard him, nodded and left. Yesterday in the movies, he told every one of our friends that he was in a serious relationship. With who? Lisa! Everyone got shocked. My current girlfriend was not comfortable and told him she only wanted to see Lisa 6 months from now. But he didn't like that. The rest of the day was super awkward with him trying to shove her down our throats. I told him I don't mind him dating her, but that he shouldn't try to make us meet her by force. He has his fair share of problems, including depression and bipolar disorder he's treating, and I'm sad and angry. This relationship could destroy him, but I don't think I can do anything. I believe our friendship is damaged by this, and I think I will keep a distance from him and his deranged girlfriend. Am I wrong? Is my girlfriend wrong too? Well, OP, in my opinion, no, you are not wrong. People own the things they do, right? Your friend knows everything about Lisa. He saw how she was with you. He actually warned you about her. And I'm pretty sure he was also present for some of the shenanigans that Lisa pulled, like that French fry incident. I mean, come on. If you're like Joey, who doesn't share food, I understand that, but if you don't like people picking your plate, you don't get to do the same. That's just common courtesy. Anyway, I know that your friend Ted has his own issues and he's treating some of them, but you can't take care of him. He's not your responsibility. You've done what you can do. And let's face it, he's in the absolute right to date anybody who likes. What he can't do is force a friendship or a sort of relationship between her and everybody else. If nobody else likes Lisa or doesn't want to hang out with Lisa, then Ted is going to have to make a choice. Either hang out with his friends without Lisa, or just hang out with Lisa by himself without his friends again. I'm more inclined to believe he's gonna choose Lisa at first, and then when he actually wakes up from this thing and wants to run away, I would believe he'd call you guys first. Hopefully not too much time passes between now and then, but I wouldn't wait, OP. He'll come back when he wants to, and then you can see if you guys can re-spark your friendship or whatever. So in summary, no, OP, I do not believe that either you or your girlfriend are in the wrong. And what do you guys think about this whole thing? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Deleted says, guys never believe a hot chick is a head case, or they overlook it due to the ego boost it gives them from being with her, especially if their ego has been damaged. He will claim she's changed until she starts being crazy around him. He'll find out soon enough. You already gave him all the intel. I wouldn't say a thing. She may also just be using him to worm her way back into your social circle to cause drama. Morgan LaFay says, would you have listened to anyone who told you to stop dating this woman back when you were first starting to like her? As someone from a Christian background too, I know how fast these relationships can become really intense. The whole push to get married combined with the guilt and sexual desire cycle and the whole love is a choice, we're all flawed, choose love thing can be a really bad mix. This woman sounds toxic. All you can do and all you should do is this. Set your own damn boundaries. Not the boundaries for the group or for your current girlfriend or for your buddy in the bad relationship. Yourself. Hey Ted, I love you man and I always will, and I also refuse to be around Lisa. Her actions have hurt our friend group and me many times and caused a lot of strife. Your choice to date her is your choice, but know that she is not welcome in my home or around me. If I host an event or invite you somewhere, I need you to understand she is not welcome to come with you. Under no circumstances will her presence be tolerated by me. If you bring her, I'll have to ask you both to leave. This is how it needs to be for me, and I'm sorry if this upsets you, but we're adults. You chose Lisa, I choose not to have her in my life. Period. And Etina says, look man, I'm not going to tell you who to date, but I'd just like to warn you that when I was dating Lisa, the relationship was pretty toxic, and give him the details you gave us, and then drop the issue and just be a supportive friend. He needs to decide for himself. All you can do is voice your concerns and support him. Additional information from OP's comments. To clarify how my girlfriend feels about Lisa, she didn't have an anxiety attack just because Ted is dating Lisa. She had an anxiety attack thinking about every future situation and that she might see Lisa in our group of friends, near me, triggering me, all the awkwardness. Lisa playing the drama queen, being jealous of us, crawling her way back into my life. My ex is that kind of toxic. Her friend Claire of a decade told me all of this. She even thought about her birthday party next month in a nice place. Ted was invited. Will he bring Lisa? We hope he doesn't. She likes the music that plays there too. It was a stressful day with lots of bad situations. We only went to watch a movie to relax, and even there she had to deal with another bomb, anxiety triggered. She has chronic anxiety. She's not crazy or deranged like my ex. Finally, I don't have a problem with him dating my ex. Since it didn't work out between us, it might work out for them, right? The only difference between my situation and this, sadly, is that my ex is a toxic person. According to one of her best friends, Claire, she's trying to instill drama in my social circle, perhaps crawl back, and the main point is that she can make my friend's life a living hell. I can't do anything about this, by the way. OP's short-term update. I was stubborn back then and she had this pretty facade. She was a great actress, acting really sweet and compassionate at the beginning of our relationship. Then after just 1 month, she started to become really toxic and overly attached. It was suffocating. Anyway, I'm not sure if I should end our friendship. I think it'll eventually become awkward or weird and he'll soon trade his friend's company for her. My group of friends and I will not go out with him that much anymore and we'll keep an eye on this relationship from afar. Well, I would think the community gave OP some pretty sensible advice. I mean, all he can do is just voice his concerns and then let Ted do what he wants to do. It's his right. Just like it is OP's right not to want to be around Lisa. Anyways, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends, but of course before that, here's another one of my playlists for you to enjoy after this video. Now let's move on with the update. Yesterday, he said to me, we need to go out sometime and talk. I played a little fool and told him it would be good to go out, and then I asked him if it was about his new girlfriend, and he said he would like to talk about it, but not about including her in our group of friends. Lol, like I seriously believe this is not a part of the subject. I told him that this makes me uncomfortable to talk about, and he told me that we could talk about this later. I know him really well. He wouldn't let this go, and he would insist until I said otherwise. I was tired, so I decided to tell him everything and be open about this. I told him that his dating my ex is not something that needs to be discussed or put on the table. It makes not only me but our entire group of friends really uncomfortable. I said that I'd try to keep a distance from him and the group would do that too, just to avoid awkward situations. I also reminded him that before he started to go out with her, I listed all the pros and cons of her behavior, and I even brought up the fact that he told me she was problematic. He told me he was repeating things people said about her. I don't believe this at all, but it's his girlfriend, so I'm not surprised. I told him he made the decision to be in a relationship with her for his own benefit. It's something that he believes is good for him and makes him happy. So I said to him to go for it, to take the opportunity and the distance from us to really get to know her, that every choice has consequences and that adult life is like this. Also, he shouldn't consider choosing between his friends and his girlfriend. Everyone being together in a group is not going to happen ever, but I believe he can keep a relationship with every friend and her. Lisa will not let that happen. I feel sorry for him because she's toxic, and I believe she will insist that he makes that choice. After telling him that I didn't want to hear anything about this, he started telling me how they began to talk. I told him that I understood he was really happy and wanted to share this with everyone, but I made my points clear. He was not happy with the points I made, but I think he understood. If his relationship decisions were wise, he would not try to be apologetic and prove himself all the time. He knows he made a poor choice and he's happy with it, so no hurt feelings. But we will not speak that much with him in person if he brings her to any future events with us. If he insists on these behaviors, it's clear he doesn't respect our boundaries and we should not be friends with him anymore. Well, OP, I totally agree where you're coming from. You guys have been pretty open about this whole thing, and if he decides he wants to keep pushing her on you, well, then you can just say this is it. However, I wouldn't discard the friendship just yet, maybe put it on ice for a little bit because, yeah, tensions are going to be high, but I do believe he will come back once he's out of this relationship. But until then, you guys do you. So on that note, here's wishing you and your group of friends the best in the future, OP. Thanks for sharing and take care. Now, let's move on to the next post that, like I said in the beginning, also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user Lufian Levens. Am I, 25 female, being mean or unreasonable to my co-worker, 22 female, asking for rides? Hi all, I'll make this as short as I can. A younger co-worker refuses to get her driver's license and a car due to anxiety. She is sort of on my way to work after recently moving to the area and asked me to drive her. I agreed, thinking it would be temporary, but she has no plans to get her license anytime soon. Every day for 3 weeks, she has made me late to work, which isn't a big deal in my office, but irks me nonetheless that my time doesn't appear valuable to her while I do her a favor. After telling her at least 3 times to be ready when I got there, there was no change. And then today she overslept and I was extra late to work waiting for her to come out and she never did. I left without her. I sent her a very calm text saying that I didn't feel comfortable driving her anymore and that she needed to find another ride. I also said no hard feelings. 2 hours later, when she woke up, she sent me an apology and says she understood and knew she's been unreliable. I tell her that I'm glad she understands and that again, there are no hard feelings from me. 2 more hours later, she gets to work and doesn't say a word to me all day. I take that as a sign that there are indeed some hard feelings, but oh well. I go home after work. I think it's over. I took tomorrow off and I'm ready for my 3-day weekend. A few hours later, I get a long text from her saying that she was so sorry and to please give her another chance because she didn't understand that I wanted her to be waiting when I got there. The bulk of the message is about me not communicating with her and her having trouble picking up the signs. She offered to pay me and promises she'll do better and then asks if I can at least give her a week to find another ride. Here's where my question comes in. I gave her a flat no. I typed out a very long irritated reply, then erased most of it and called my manager, who told me to have her call him. I texted her that I truly felt bad that she was left in a tough spot, but that the fact of the matter was it was not my responsibility to get her to work and she needed to ask our manager for help. I guess now I just feel like a jerk, like I should have taken her word that she'd get it together, but at the same time, I feel I was right to stand up for myself and not do things that make me anxious and uncomfortable. It's hard sometimes to find the line between standing up for yourself and being a jerk. I guess especially because I am typically the first person to let things go in silence. Willoughby, I guess you feel like a jerk because you feel guilt for some weird reason because, like you say, it is not your responsibility. I mean, she clearly can get to work without a problem by herself. She did so the day that you couldn't take her. And she's also offering to pay you, which honestly kind of strikes me as odd as I would have assumed that she would already be giving you some gas money or something, right? So if she's got the money, well then maybe she can Uber to work. And also, she didn't get the hint that you wanted her to wait for you outside. You were doing her a favor. Whenever I needed a ride to work, I would always wait at the sidewalk for my coworker to come pick me up. They're doing me a favor. The least I could do is make it easier on them. And I understand she has anxiety. I would suggest she should work on it in order to be able to get a driver's license. But if her decision is to not address the issue, then whatever consequences come of it are all on her. All of this, OP, is to say, no, you shouldn't feel like a jerk. You did the right thing. And what do you guys think? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's go check out those community comments to see what they said. Moongirl12 says, you don't owe her a ride. You were very generous and she took advantage of that. And only now wants to change because she's losing her literal free ride. You're not being a jerk. And OP responds, thanks for replying. Her long message to me was all about how she should have known that when I texted her 1 minute away, that meant come outside, and some other similar examples of how she should have known what I meant. Makes me wonder how she can suddenly piece that together now and couldn't before. Honeygirls says, dude, wow, if someone is doing me a favor of giving me a ride, you can be sure as hell I'll be waiting outside for them. If I am more than 10 minutes early, I will ask them which side of the street they are coming from so that I can make it easier for them to pick me up. You owe your co-worker nothing. She has been abusing your generosity. And OP responds, haha, I love the part about asking which side of the street. That's going the extra mile. I feel exactly the same way about being ready. I think she's just been driven around her whole life by her parents, so she doesn't get it. One other funny thing is that she offered in her long text to pay me, but her roommate is literally an Uber driver and she only lives 2 miles from the office. Lula Moon says, you do not owe anybody your time, ever, and most especially, you do not owe your time to someone who does not respect it. So, I do not think you were being unreasonable. You were 100% correct when you said it wasn't your responsibility. If you decide that you want to give her another chance, and really that's only a choice that you can make, tell her that if she's not ready when you come to pick her up, you will not wait for her and you will no longer be picking her up. And OP responds, "Thanks for your reply. Part of me does want to give her another chance. I am a soft-hearted person, but I'm trying to draw a line. I read in this sub a lot, and the advice given to other people in similar situations is what gave me the mental strength to say that line about responsibility. It's hard drawing hard lines, but it's getting easier." Alright, well, the community was pretty clear. OP doesn't owe this co-worker anything, and only if OP wants to give her another chance is that she gets it. But it sounds like OP is on the firm boundaries line, and I absolutely agree and respect that. So let's now move on to the update to see how the story ends. It was about 3 weeks ago that I told my co-worker I wouldn't be driving her anymore due to her constant tardiness and her ungratefulness. I felt bad about it at first because she seemed so young and clueless rather than manipulative. After I ended it, she started asking everyone in the office for rides, including people she had never spoken to who lived in the complete opposite direction of her. She did manage to get to and from work every day for the last 3 weeks, basically by bouncing from car to car every couple of days because nobody would commit to a long-term agreement. For the record, I didn't tell anyone why I wasn't driving her anymore, apart from my manager and a co-worker who asked me what happened after she received a message asking for a ride home, which we all knew was coming since she had been there for almost 4 months and still hadn't been given a company cell phone. And the floodgates opened. Not only did she ask everyone for rides, she was just as thankless and demanding to the rest of the office as she was to me. The team went on a group outing last Friday and she evidently got really bratty towards the woman driving her home because she was hosting a Halloween party that night and wanted to leave. Even though I kind of feel like a sucker for agreeing to drive her in the first place, I'm glad to know in the end that I definitely made the right judgment call. Well, I'm gonna call this a good update because OP, you got validated in your decision. You made the right call. Now, it's not so happy for your coworker, but hopefully she takes this as a life lesson. Don't be a jackass. Anyways, thanks for sharing, OP, and all the best in the future. Take care. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.